Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm working on finishing up these 3 liner locks, and what I mean is I'm going to do the final tuning. I've put the rough edge on them, got to sharpen them, finish sharpening them, but I want to do the final tuning inspection and make sure everything is working right, everything looks right, and put them back together, Loctite them down, and ship them out. So what I like to do, I've got the knife, this one here, put together. This is a mammoth scale Damascus blade. Just testing the lock. I have early lockup on this knife. I look at gaps. I look at everything. I make sure when the blade is closed that it doesn't catch your finger here. That should have been set a long time ago. If it's catching you now, you're going to have to re-etch this knife, of course. Just take a general inspection. Now, one of the things I'll do at this point is I'm going to check how good the lock is. I mean, it's for cutting and things like that, it's good. But see how it broke loose? So what I want to do is test all of them for that. So I have to fix that problem. And what I'm going to start with is tightening the spring, give it a little more tension. So I'm going to take it apart. I'll have to put it back together with everything, because that helps align everything, straighten everything. These liners will sometimes get a little warped or bent. You can't, it's so micro. All it takes is a half a thou and it'd screw you up. It'll also screw up the centering on your blade. It's easy to happen. A screw got loose, like I found a loose screw here on the bolster when I put it together. So I want everything tight, and first thing I'm going to do is address this lock, because we don't want that. Got to keep everything in its place. So looking here, I'm just doing another little inspection. I've got a mark right here where this screw on this handle is touching. I will adjust the length of that screw. Same on the other side, it's the back screw. So before I put it back together, I'm going to adjust the length on the screws in the backs of both of these handles. And now I will just take note of where that bar is, and I'm going to put it in the vise and bend it over. We'll set it up right here. All right, I got everything set up here, and I'm just going to put a clamp right here, same place I've bent them. And I know that that bar sitting off of the edge there, the thickness of this feeler gauge, about 20 thousandths. I mean, thickness of this ruler. So what I want to do is I'm going to overbend it a little bit and check it. It doesn't take much. So right there, I'm off of it, maybe a 30-second, maybe. And we're going to put it together. This takes a lot of time. It's very time consuming. And see if that's enough. Before I do that, I'm going to adjust the lengths on these back screws of that handle. And I'm just putting them in a piece of metal I've got here that is threaded, 256. And I'm going to shave off about a thread, maybe a thread. And I'll take it to my disc sander and just put it up against it, let it cut it flat. All right, everything's looking good on this one. It's ready to Loctite. and do a little cleanup. But if I would have had problems, more problems, even by bending that lock bar and it not holding, there's a fine line between too much and too little. So too much and it's just hard to open. And I don't want it like that. I want a full engagement at the sweet spot. So what you can do is you can take the lock bar, pry it open, and take a file and make sure that that leading edge has a slight bevel on it, so it's not sticking. And a lot of the reasons you have a sticky lock is because of that. There'll be a sharp corner on that lockup spot. Another problem you can have is lock rock, and that can be because you're engaging below the high spot or the top side of that lock bar. You got too much engagement there. And you can clean that up with a file as well. So I'll show you how to do that on this knife here, because I don't want to move the bar anymore. So we'll take it apart and clean it up. It's actually holding, but if I hit it real hard, it comes loose. I want it to hold. And I know people's not going to be doing work like that, but if for whatever reason that lock comes loose, it can cut you and hurt you bad. So we don't want that to happen. So let's get that one done. Now, before I do that, another thing you can do if you've tightened your lock bar up and then it's too hard to open because of the detent, what you can do is go back over to your arbor press where you originally set the detent, take a filler gauge a little bit thinner when this is a 20 thousandths, and you can stick it on there and sink it just a little bit deeper, slightly deeper. I mean, don't go overdo it or you lose it. You can back the detent out, ping that front edge, repress a new ball in there. I've done that, but you don't want to have to go there. There's just another little tip in tuning. This is all tuning techniques. All right, so there's just a slight bevel right on that corner of that leading edge. I mean, ever so slight. I just got a brass washer holding it open. And that'll make sure that that corner is just not biting there and not allowing that bar to move before I do any bar bending. That's what I like to make sure of. So we get it back together, test it out. All right, that took care of that one. It's ready to Loctite. And we're going to move on to the next one. Same inspections. I've got just a little gap here. I can see I'm going to check, see if the screw's bottoming out and see why that's happening. Otherwise, this lock's good and smooth. Get it apart and check it out. All right, so I did shorten the screw a little bit in that handle, but I also got to looking at something else on my pivot. Pivot is a little bit longer than I'd like it to be. I like to be 5 or 10 thousandths, really about 10 thousandths below the edge of the liner. That way the screw doesn't bottom out on the top of this pivot. So what I do is take this pivot lap. If it's a whole lot, I take it over to the flat disc sander, but it's just a piece of steel with a hole in it, same size as the pivot. And I take it over to my surface plate, hold my finger down on top of the head, and just take some of it down, just a little bit. It'll take a minute. And it gets it good and square too. And I've already done that to this pivot, but it needed a little more. And I can see that took a little bit off of there, so that's good. So I'll put it back together, and we're going to try this one out. Make sure she's fitting, working nicely. All right, that's looking pretty good. Actually, lapping that pivot did help. It may have been a little bottoming out there with the liner and the pivot, but that took care of that problem. So now, all of them are ready to Loctite. But before I do that, I'll go sharpen them all, and I'm going to operate them about 24 times each. Just over and over. And break them in good. Make sure that I don't get a rock going on here because of the after the break-in, it's getting loose. Just keep working them. I'll do that a couple dozen times each. Then we'll come Loctite them. All right, got them all sharp. Now it's time to do some Loctite. Now I want to make sure at this point I got everything like I want it. However, I can take them back apart. I'm going to be using blue Loctite. It's in a red bottle, but it's blue. The blue is like a temporary. If you use a red, it's pretty hard to get the screws back out. What I'm going to do, got all the screws laid out, is I'm going to take this Loctite and put a drop right on the threads, on every thread, including the pivot screws. And I'll let that dry, and then we'll put them together. All right, with everything dry, I'm going to go ahead and put it together. Now, while I'm doing that, make sure everything's clean. I'll clean the pivot holes and all with a Q-tip, and I will oil the pivot area, bearings and washers. I'll get them all put together, and we'll take a look at them. All right, folks, I think we got it. Did all the tuning I think we needed to do here. But I hope that helps somebody that if they've got some problems with a liner lock or a frame lock. You're kind of limited on a frame lock because you can't, I can mark things and do things on the inside of this scale you can't see on the liner, but on a frame lock, you can't do that because there is no scales on it. So you got to be very particular. It's not a whole lot of difference, but about the same when it comes to tuning. So hope that helps somebody. If you got any questions, just leave them down below. I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.